Have you ever felt the sting of someone's jealousy or been blindsided by a lie? In a world where appearances can be deceiving, how can we protect ourselves from those who might wish us harm? Zen Buddhism offers profound insights into human nature, shedding light on the dark corners of envy and falsehood that lurk within us all. This ancient wisdom provides practical tools for recognizing these dangerous traits in others, helping us navigate life's treacherous waters with greater awareness and compassion. Let's embark on a journey through the landscape of human emotions and behaviors. Guided by the timeless teachings of Zen, we'll explore the subtle signs that reveal envy and dishonesty, and discover how to cultivate a mindset that shields us from their harmful effects. Along the way, we'll uncover surprising truths about ourselves and gain a deeper understanding of the human condition. 1. The mirror of comparison. Imagine standing before a mirror that doesn't just reflect your physical appearance, but also your deepest insecurities and desires. This is the mirror of comparison, a powerful tool for recognizing envy in others. When someone constantly measures themselves against you or others, they're gazing into this mirror, often without realizing it. Zen teaches us that true contentment comes from within, not from external comparisons. Those who are at peace with themselves have no need to constantly measure up to others. But for those caught in the grip of envy, the world becomes a never-ending contest. Look for signs like excessive interest in your achievements, possessions, or relationships. Do they seem overly curious about your salary, your romantic life, or your social connections? This curiosity might mask a deeper dissatisfaction with their own circumstances. Remember, though, that we all fall into the comparison trap sometimes. The key is to recognize it in ourselves and others, and to cultivate compassion rather than judgment. 2. The shifting sands of truth. Truth, in the Zen tradition, is not a fixed point, but a living, breathing entity. It's like trying to grasp a handful of sand. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips through your fingers. Those who deal in falsehoods often reveal themselves through inconsistencies in their words and actions. Pay attention to stories that change with each retelling, or promises that remain perpetually unfulfilled. A person committed to honesty may sometimes make mistakes or forget details, but their core narrative remains consistent. Zen Buddhism encourages us to cultivate mindfulness, to be fully present in each moment. This practice can sharpen our ability to detect subtle shifts in someone's behavior or tone when they're being dishonest. 3. The unspoken language of body and spirit. Words can deceive, but the body often tells the truth. Zen masters have long understood the power of nonverbal communication. When trying to recognize envy or falsehood in others, tune into the silent language of posture, gesture, and energy. Envious individuals might unconsciously mimic your body language or style, a subconscious attempt to become more like the object of their desire. Their eyes might dart around nervously when you speak of your successes, or their smile might not quite reach their eyes when congratulating you. Those prone to dishonesty often struggle to maintain eye contact or may overcompensate with excessive eye contact. They might fidget, touch their face frequently, or position objects between themselves and others as a kind of subconscious barrier. But remember, these signs are not definitive proof of envy or falsehood. They're simply invitations to look deeper, to approach each interaction with mindful awareness. 4. The echo chamber of gossip. In the quiet halls of Zen monasteries, silence is often revered as a path to wisdom. But in the outside world, words can spread like wildfire, fueled by the winds of envy and deceit. Pay close attention to those who seem overly eager to share negative information about others, especially when it's not directly relevant to the conversation at hand. Envious individuals often use gossip as a tool to elevate themselves by bringing others down. They might subtly undermine your achievements or relationships, planting seeds of doubt in your mind. This behavior stems from a deep-seated insecurity, a fear that your success somehow diminishes their own worth. Zen teaches us to observe our thoughts and words without judgment, to see them as passing clouds in the sky of our consciousness. Apply this principle to the words of others. When you hear gossip, step back and consider, what motivates this person to share this information? Does it serve any purpose beyond making someone look bad? Remember, those who are truly content and at peace with themselves rarely feel the need to tear others down. By recognizing the telltale signs of gossip mongering, you can protect yourself from its toxic influence and cultivate more authentic relationships. 5. The illusion of perfection. In our social media-driven world, it's easy to fall into the trap of believing that others lead perfect lives. But Zen wisdom reminds us that perfection is an illusion, a mirage that disappears the closer we try to approach it. Be wary of those who present an flawless facade to the world, never admitting to struggles or failures. Envious individuals often create elaborate illusions of success and happiness, driven by a fear of being seen as less than ideal. They might exaggerate their achievements, name-drop constantly, or curate their social media presence to show only their best moments. This perfectionism is a shield, protecting a fragile ego from the perceived threat of others' success. Similarly, those prone to dishonesty may construct elaborate false narratives about their lives, weaving complex webs of half-truths and outright lies. They might resist vulnerability at all costs, never allowing others to see their true selves. Zen encourages us to embrace our imperfections, to find beauty in the cracks and flaws that make us uniquely human. By cultivating this mindset, we become less susceptible to the illusions of perfection that others may try to project. 6. The dance of attachment and aversion. At the heart of Zen philosophy lies the concept of non-attachment, the idea that suffering arises from our desperate clinging to desires and our aversion to discomfort. This principle offers a powerful lens through which to view the behaviors of envy and falsehood. Envious individuals often display an excessive attachment to external markers of success or happiness. They might obsess over material possessions, social status, or the approval of others. This attachment reveals itself in subtle ways: a flicker of resentment when you receive praise, a quick change of subject when your good fortune is mentioned, or an inability to genuinely celebrate others' successes. Those prone to dishonesty, on the other hand, often show a strong aversion to vulnerability or potential loss of face. They might go to great lengths to avoid admitting mistakes, deflect blame onto others, or create elaborate excuses for their behavior. This aversion to discomfort or perceived failure drives them to construct false narratives and maintain facades. Zen teaches us to observe our own attachments and aversions with compassionate detachment. By developing this skill, we become more attuned to these patterns in others. We can recognize when someone's behavior is driven by an unhealthy attachment to outcomes or an aversion to truth and vulnerability. As we cultivate this awareness, we develop a deeper understanding of human nature and a greater capacity for compassion. We see that envy and falsehood often stem from pain and insecurity, allowing us to respond with wisdom rather than judgment. 7. The paradox of control. Zen wisdom often speaks of the illusion of control, the idea that our desperate attempts to manipulate our surroundings only lead to more suffering. This concept offers valuable insights when recognizing patterns of envy and dishonesty in others. Those gripped by envy often exhibit an obsessive need for control. They might try to dictate the flow of conversations, always steering topics back to themselves or their interests. In group settings, they may attempt to dominate decision-making processes, feeling threatened when others take the lead. This need for control can manifest in subtler ways too. An envious person might offer unsolicited advice, not out of genuine concern, but as a way to assert their superiority. They may react with disproportionate anger or frustration when things don't go their way, revealing the fragility of their self-image. Individuals prone to dishonesty also often display control issues, but in a different manner. They might carefully curate the information they share, doling out half-truths to maintain their preferred narrative. In conversations, They may deflect probing questions or change the subject abruptly when feeling cornered. Zen teaches us to embrace uncertainty and let go of our need for control. By cultivating this mindset, we become more adept at recognizing when others are caught in this struggle. We can respond with compassion, understanding that their behavior often stems from deep-seated fears and insecurities. 8. The Mirage of Scarcity. In the bustling marketplaces of feudal Japan, Zen monks would sometimes wander, observing the frantic energy of commerce with detached curiosity. Their teachings remind us that true wealth lies not in material possessions, but in our ability to appreciate the present moment. This wisdom provides a powerful framework for understanding envy and falsehood. Many who struggle with these traits operate from a mindset of scarcity, a belief that there's not enough success, love, or recognition to go around. Envious individuals often view life as a zero-sum game. If you succeed, they feel like they've lost something. This scarcity mindset reveals itself in subtle ways. They might downplay your achievements, quickly change the subject when you share good news, or find ways to compete even in collaborative situations. Those prone to dishonesty may also operate from a place of perceived scarcity. They might exaggerate their accomplishments or resources, driven by a fear that the truth isn't enough. This can lead to a constant state of anxiety, always worrying that their deceptions will be uncovered. Zen encourages us to cultivate an abundance mindset, a recognition that there's more than enough for everyone. By developing this perspective, we become more resilient to the effects of others' scarcity-driven behaviors. We can recognize these patterns without being drawn into their drama, responding instead with empathy and wisdom. 9. The Mask of Projection. In the tranquil gardens of Zen monasteries, monks contemplate the nature of reality and illusion. One profound teaching that emerges from this practice is the concept of projection, the idea that we often see in others what we most fear or dislike in ourselves. This principle offers a fascinating lens through which to view envy and falsehood. Those struggling with these traits often project their own insecurities and dishonest tendencies onto others. An envious person might frequently accuse others of being jealous, even when there's no evidence to support this claim. They may be hypervigilant about perceived slights or competition, always on guard against threats that exist primarily in their own mind. Similarly, individuals prone to dishonesty might be overly suspicious of others' motives. They may assume everyone is as willing to bend the truth as they are, leading to a cynical worldview where trust becomes almost impossible. Zen teaches us to turn our gaze inward, to examine our own thoughts and motivations with ruthless honesty. As we develop this skill, we become more adept at recognizing when others are caught in the trap of projection. We can see their accusations and suspicions for what they often are, reflections of their own inner struggles. By cultivating this awareness, we develop a deeper compassion for those grappling with envy and falsehood. We recognize that their behavior, however harmful, often stems from their own pain and insecurity. This understanding allows us to respond with wisdom and kindness, rather than becoming entangled in their projections. As we conclude our exploration of these 9 points, we're reminded of the profound insights Zen Buddhism offers into human nature. These teachings provide not just a framework for recognizing dangerous traits in others, but also a path towards greater self-awareness and compassion.